Perfect. I see the recording on. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and welcome to yet another India virtual Adobe Marketo Engage user group event. Really appreciate your time today. And as you know, we have like a really jam-packed session. We are covering a lot of AI and Marketo Engage use cases. So yeah, looking forward to this session. Thank you so much again for joining us today. We'll quickly get started with the intros. I see a lot of familiar names. So for those who don't know us, we'll quickly introduce ourselves. Hi everyone, this is Darshil Shah. I work as a senior consultant at Deloitte South Asia. I'm four-time Marketo Engage champion, multiple-time Marketo certified solution architect, certified expert, and I also help Adobe write their certification exams, which make me the subject matter expert. I'm community advisor as well, and I was champion of the year twice in 2022 and 2023 as well. I think that's missing here from this, but I am based out of western part of India, that is Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Yeah, most of my team members in Deloitte, they work out of Bangalore and Delhi location. I frequently travel there to meet them, but as of now, I'm based out of Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And thanks again for joining us today. Looking forward to a wonderful session. Over to you, Ajay.
Thank you, Darshil. Impressive introduction as always. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining our today's session from the different parts of the world. Your presence really makes this entire user group extremely motivated, and we are
Yep.
encouraged to see your presence. And thank you so much again for dialing in. And my name is Ajay Sarpal. I happen to be the CEO and founder of Unicorn Martech, that happens to be the bronze level partner of Adobe. I'm seven times Marketo champion, seven times subject matter expert, and like the way Darshil said that this title is given to those who are writing certification exam question. So myself and Darshil, we have written certification exam questions starting from associate expert till architect level, and that makes me a Marketo certified subject matter expert as well. I was I was part of Fearless 50 class way back when Marketo was not acquired by Adobe, and I'm seven times Marketo certified expert, and I was champion of the year in 2020, and I'm also Adobe's community advisor as well as credential advisor. I'm based out in Bangalore, India, and excited to be part of today's panel and speaking along with Darshil.
Yeah, thanks, Ajay. Wonderful introduction indeed. Yeah, for those of us, as I said, I am seeing a lot of familiar names, but for those of us who have joined us for the first time or who is joining the Adobe user group meeting for the first time, we'll quickly go through the housekeeping slides and then we'll quickly start with today's session. So we try to keep this as a safe space. So if there are any use cases or if there is, we try to, avoid any self promotion or any use cases that are being shared within this meeting. We ensure it's recommended that they are not shared outside, and of course without the consent of the people who are sharing this. And uh, don't contact people outside of the user group meeting without their consent, of course. So as I said, we try to keep this meetings a safe space for everyone to chat, to communicate, to exchange knowledge, exchange ideas. So I think it's helpful for everyone to adhere to these rules to keep this a safe space for everyone to collaborate and communicate. And yeah, as you heard us in the beginning, this user group meeting is being recorded so that we can post it online on our Bevy page. So the participants who couldn't join us today, they can view it as on demand at a later point in time. And yeah, if you do not wish to participate in live recorded session, you can leave now, and then you can go ahead and watch the on demand session, which again will be posted on the same page through you registered. And if you have any questions, of course, reach out to us via our emails, which are mentioned here. And of course, I think, yeah, I see. Yeah, I think most of you guys are connected with us on LinkedIn, so feel free to drop a message in case required. So yeah, stay connected with our India VMUG chapter. So as Ajay mentioned, we are very grateful for your support, and like your support, and that means the world to us. Thank you so much for being connected, and for those of you who are not connected, we highly recommend you join the India Virtual Market US group meeting so that you get notified every time we post an event. And we try to ensure that the event subjects and the topics that we discuss here are highly relevant to our audience. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, as always, please feel free to drop us a message, email, or just a message on LinkedIn. So we'll try to, uh, you know, arrange that session for you. And yeah, Adobe Summit is happening next year from April 19 to 2022 in Las Vegas, and there will also be an online component of it. So yeah, if you want to travel and experience the you know Adobe Summit, join the wonderful sessions, inspirational leaders giving their sessions and everything about it. You can sign up for it. The online pass is, of course, free of cost, but the in-person pass is, I think, it is available at a highly discounted rate if you want to sign up and take opportunity of the early bird discount.
Yep, as far as my understanding is right now they are offering $600
Yeah,
as
yeah, I
discount.
think so.
Yep. And my personal suggestion would be to reach out to your companies and see if they could sponsor you. And if you get the sponsorship, do connect with myself and Darshil. We will guide you how to best make use of Adobe Summit, how to network, where to go, where to find market or booth, and which all sessions will be great. So, yeah, highly recommend attending Adobe Summit.
Yeah, and we we don't have a lot of attendees going from India, but the other user group, they also do like a pre-summit event. So if you are going to summit, we highly also recommend to join those pre-summit events. They tell you, like, they will give you all information on all the sessions that are happening, and specifically there's the sessions that are focused towards B2B and like core marketing automation, core marketo, uh, yeah, sessions that are happening. So if you are going to summit, make sure you also attend that pre-summit user group meeting that happens. And yeah, make sure, like, if you are not certified yet with regards to Marketo, or if you are using any other platform, Adobe platform, and if you want to get certified, we highly recommend that. All the numbers are on the screen, wonderful numbers. They show that like 81% of the candidates become Adobe certified to advance their career, and rest of the numbers. So if you aren't certified, feel make sure you get certified. And I think there's a discount associated with the Indian users as well, and there's all sorts of training that are also available on the certification.adobe.com portal as well.
Yep.
And yeah, sorry, Ajay,
I'm
please
really
go ahead.
sorry, Darshil. I have
No,
a
no
very
problem, no
habit
problem.
of interrupting. So I just want to share my experience here with the certification. So
Yeah,
um, as far as my understanding is, I happen to be the first Marketo certified expert from India. And I'm saying this because back in those days, there used to be a LinkedIn group or a specific group for the certified experts, and I was the only one from India. And there were hardly 100 users who were certified. And I can vouch you, certification really accelerates your career progression. And just in case if someone would like to have any guidance on Marketo, on how to amplify your career, let it be through certification or through Marketo Certified Solution Architect exam, or even to become a community advisor or become a champion, myself and Darshil would be always there for you, because we really want you all to grow. And the more our user group members will grow, we will grow eventually. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, do reach out. But if you are not certified as yet, it really helped me to amplify my income. And not just that, people started perceiving me as an industry leader, and it will certainly help you as well. The only key is that once you're certified, do share your knowledge.
absolutely. Giving back to community is something that we highly encourage. Yeah, thanks, Ajay. Yeah, of course, there's a chance for you to receive a 25 US dollar gift card as a thank you in case if you review Market to Engage, or I think this applies for other Adobe product as well. If you're using any other Adobe product and have already reviewed Market to Engage, go ahead and submit your review. If not, you can always submit a review for Marketo. This is live on G2 as well as Trust Radius. The QR codes are displayed on the screen. We'll also be sharing this PPT post the event. Uh, yeah. uh, right on time. So yeah, let's get started. Over to you, Ajay.
Thank you. First of
So
all, apologies everyone. Somehow my camera stopped working just 2 minutes prior to this call, so I'm really sorry. I, trust me, I dressed up very well and I wore my favorite swag from Adobe, which I was actually showing to Darshil. But yeah, it is a bummer. So yeah, this topic is very favorite of mine. That is leveraging AI. Almost all clients of mine, they are pretty much integrated and they would like to get AI implemented in some way or another, because that is one form of saving the time and enhancing the productivity. So yeah, here in today's session we will be walking you through AI. It is all about understanding AI fundamentals and AI module type. And the second agenda item would be explore current AI capabilities in Adobe Marketo Engage, and that is all about what we have in AI when it comes to existing Marketo product and how we can make full use of it. And then uh, most importantly, learn self-service flow steps for custom integration and solve real-world challenges with AI step by step. And here, if you all might remember, uh, there was a question that we added, that which specific AI integration you would like to hear about us. So based on that, myself and Darshil have come up with an example of the use case which most of you wanted us to address. So that will be taken care of in the following slides. And the most importantly, why we are here, just to share our knowledge, and we are here to learn from you all as well. So it is only possible when we network with fellow Marketo leaders and users like you. So yeah, feel free to connect, feel free to participate, and feel free to ask questions. If we may not be the right people to answer, we will try our best to have you directed to the right person from Marketo side or from user group side. So yeah,
absolutely.
next slide, Darshil. So the most important thing, what is AI and AI module type? So we all know that artificial intelligence, it enables the system to learn, reason, and make intelligent decisions from data, mimicking human like intelligence to automate tasks and improve outcomes. So we all must have used chat gpt, perplexity. Many user might be aware or may not be aware that Airtel is actually offering perplexity AI pro version in India for free. Just in case if you happen to be the AI user, sorry, Airtel user, try to make full use of it, because that's how I started learning more about AI. Because the pro version was absolutely free here in India for a year, and that actually enhanced my knowledge and helped me to actually learn what AI is and how to make full use of it. So there are basically two component of it. One is LLM, that is large language model. So what it does, so it actually trained on vast data set to understand and generate human like text for content creation, summarization, and conversational task. So something like through chat, or dynamic chat, like the way we have it in Adobe, how we program that, or to generate content for emails. So this is all something that actually falls under the large language model. The second one, this is actually specific, and those are AI agents. So AI agents are basically autonomous AI system that continuously evaluate data, makes decision, and takes action without manual intervention to achieve goals. In layman's language, it helps you automate your repetitive task. So let's assume if there is some sort of task which is bit manual and you would like to automate it, and that is just somehow not available just by typing or searching it. So you could actually build AI agents and have those integrated with Marketo, and then you could actually get the data done or pulled or updated like the way you want it. Next slide. So Adobe Sensei, AI backbone of Marketo. So Adobe Sensei is Adobe's artificial intelligence and machine learning layer that sits across many of its products using advanced model to automate repetitive tasks, and it analyzes large data set of behavior and content data and power features like intelligent search, auto tagging, personalization, and generative content creation. So when combined with Marketo, Adobe Sensei analyzes user behavior and engagement data for campaigns to predict which content, offers, and next best actions are most likely to drive conversation for each audience or individual. So, yeah, so as it is mentioned in the bullet, Adobe's enterprise AI and machine learning network, it powers intelligent automation and personalization at scale, and it integrates directly within Marketo Engage ecosystem, and it enables predictive analytics, content intelligence, and dynamic journey. Next slide, please. So AI in Adobe Marketo Engage as of today. So we must have seen the new email editor. If not, I would highly encourage you to do look into it. It is good. It has just only a few limitations. One among those would be dynamic content using segment, but there is definitely a way around coming out for that. But do use email AI assistant. It auto generates email copy, subject line, and it is integrated with Firefly powered images. We can use predictive audience, and it is all about which people who are most likely to attend an event, or or which leads are supposed to get converted to an opportunity or engage better. So it is all about predicting your audience better and helping the executive team to know the outcome way before the event or campaign is being launched. And the most important thing, the third one, dynamic chat with Gen AI. So conversational AI for customer engagement and lead qualification. So what it does, that it can help you to summarize the entire interaction and share it um, along with a qualified lead qualification process to the sales team member. And then we have AI lead scoring, which myself and Darshil will be walking you all through on that. Next slide. So AI assistant content creation acceleration. So this happens to be our new email editor. And what it does, what AI is doing with our email editor. So it helps in generating content and variation. So let's assume if you want to create a content with five different subject, five different body, you can easily build that. You can also build on brand content, such as you can upload your brand asset, brand guideline prior to campaign asset, and based on that, the content which you are going to get it, it is going to follow your brand strategies along with the tone which you are going to set it up for the content, and you will be having various versions of the content that you could use it. Next slide, please. So create subject line and variation using AI. So this is how you could actually see it. This is exactly how it looks on the platform, that you log into Marketo and then you go onto the new editor, and then you can see the generate subject line the moment you will click on emails, and then you can actually type the stuff in the prompt. And I'm really sorry, the screen is very small, but it is on the it is in the pop-up on the left hand side. So you could actually type the prompt and it will be able to generate the variations, and you will be able to see the variation 1 and variation 2 for the email content. And in that way you could generate multiple subject line, body of the email. And yeah, next slide please, Darshil. So the another best part, I started using email marketing almost 22 years back. And then back on those days, Darshil, what used to happen, that we used to have an HTML developer, a
Yeah.
separate graphic designer, a separate content writer. So the beauty of AI is that you now don't need all these just if you want to launch an email campaign. You have the brand guidelines that you could link it with your um, emails. You you can just specify the use cases and the tone, and then your email will be generated. So somehow not much use of content developer or content manager. And then you can also generate the images as well using Gen I capabilities, in which all you need to do is just enter the requirements in the prompt and just click on generate, and the moment you're going to preview it, you will see the new images over there. Next slide, please. So these are the steps which are required for generating or creating image using AI. So most important thing is that make sure your Marketo user is assigned to a role that has AI assistant permission enabled. And then the second thing that you need to do is select a template without selecting any component within the template, and click the AI assistant button in the email designer. And the third step would be to enter the relevant prompt and choose the text setting, brand asset, and any image setting you want for your email. Next slide, please. And if you would like to generate images using Firefly, select the image settings and select the toggle for generate image using AI, and select the desired content type, color and tone, lighting and composition to generate Gen AI image for your email, and click generate when done. And I'm just adding one point over here. Back on those days, to
Mhm.
generate an image and just to make it edited, it used to take 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Doing it is not tough, Darshil, but it is just all about um, dropping an email to the
Correct.
uh,
The dependency part is the
yeah.
worst, I believe.
Yeah, and the person who was actually responsible for generating image, he will be having other priority tasks from the
Correct.
CEO, from other team members, or other teams as well. So it was always going to take a lot of time, specifically in larger organizations. But now you can easily have that built. And um, if you want to see how the variation will look into your email, you just need to do is just click the preview and choose a variation by simply clicking the apply button. Next slide, please. So AI based personalized lead scoring. So lead scoring is always a catchy subject because, you know, from marketer side, we always say that, hey, we are sending you so many leads, so many MQLs, type B MQLs, which are not hand raisers. Type A's are those which are hand raisers who have filled out the form, and then they are saying that we would like to see the demo of your product. But type B are those which are getting graduated based on their various activities. But no matter how much sales and marketing teams they say that they are aligned and they have the right processes and right balance in place, the reality or the harsh reality is that, and which Gartner is also vouching, that only 30% of marketers say their scoring model is effectively identifying ready to buy leads. And trust me, I have had managed more than 30 plus clients across the globe, and I can vouch it. Uh, and in my opinion, Gartner might be a little more generous in saying this.
Yes, I concur to this. My experience also says the same thing, Ajay.
Yeah, and no matter how much you are working with SDRs or whether you're working with the sales leader, the issue remains the same. And manual weights such as plus 10 for download an ebook fails to adapt to challenging buyer behavior. And downloading a content doesn't mean that someone is really going to buy it, and just by increasing the score based on their job title may or may not be relevant. And possibility of overemphasizing on job title, which I just mentioned, company size misses intent signal or engagement. So yep. So lead scoring accuracy over time without AI is still a bit struggling. Next slide. So what is AI powered lead scoring? So AI models analyze historical lead and conversion data plus behavior signals to predict lead score. So the key inputs would be like the way we are doing it in our existing lead scoring model, that we are scoring leads based on firmographic attitude like industry, revenue, etc. Then their behavior data, such as their past interactions. But with the help of AI, we will be able to add the engagement velocity, like time spent on pricing page, content interaction, intent data, and the output would be predictive score plus confidence interval. So that through that we will be able to get a better picture, something that is backed by data and backed by the industry standards, and backed by our own company revenue generation model and lead life cycle. So this is what the beauty of AI powered lead scoring is, that it is not just depending upon the firmographic or behavior data, it is also depending upon various other factors which are sort of lacked in existing lead scoring model. So now we will be moving to technical deep dive, and over to you, Darshil, on this.
Yeah, thanks, Ajay. Thanks so much for starting off. Wonderful start. So, as we were discussing about the AI powered lead scoring, so like this is like a very high level overview of how the architecture would look like, and this is an example of the personalized, or I would say like customized AI lead scoring model. So as you see towards the left, we have Marketo Engage. Marketo Engage sends the lead data, and this the AI scoring model. It could be like an out of the box AI model, like an Adobe Sensei or any of the other AI models that you might have. And the idea is to send the lead data to it, but before this, the scoring model needs to be trained based on your historical leads. So what were the parameters, what were the engagements of the leads who got converted, and what were their firmographics, what were the items that they interacted with that might lead to a conversion, might lead to a successful opportunity creation. And conversely, what were the items that even though they engaged with say XYZ item, but those opportunities didn't get created, those weren't closed one deals in the CRM. So all of those labeled historical data along with their engagement data, along with their firmographic is something that is also part of the training data set. And of course, then there is normalized engagement metrics. So for example, what are some of the engagement metrics that you would want to consider for scoring your lead? So uh, it would be like a behaviors like you create like several behavior scoring campaigns. So this is what like different parameters, behavior as well as demographic as well. So what are the different parameters on which you would want to score people on, and this would be like a normalized like these would be like normalized engagement metrics. So all of the metrics are like they have this like different weights, and at the same time they are also normalized. And of course you have your algorithm as well, and all of this data, all of this training data plus algorithm is something that is powering the AI's lead scoring model. And of course you pass on the like net new lead data, and you can either use self-service flow steps for connecting Marketo to the AI scoring lead model, or you can also use like webhooks. Self-service flow step is something that we would highly recommend now, uh, given that there are a lot of advantages of it over webhooks, and we have like few slides where we are discussing self-service flow steps uh, in the next section as well. So this comes back, the AI scoring model gives the scoring, and along with the confidence interval, last like we saw in the last slide, back to Marketo Engage, right? So the demographic and behavior scoring fields. And of course, you constantly retrain the model using the new conversion data to reduce the drift. So this is where the magic happens. Your scoring model is constantly learning, it is constantly improving on your live engagement, live activity data, live conversion data. So this is something that never happens in a like static scoring model, wherein marketing and sales team sits one time, they get together and then they create a scoring criteria, scoring model. Then a marketer user, like the implementation team, will create a scoring program in Marketo, and then they forget about it. So that is something that we were talking about. Ajay was talking about in a couple of slides back, where the accuracy of the model decays over time because buyer buyers, they are constantly evolving, their priorities are constantly evolving. So that's the reason that the accuracy decays over the time. So with the AI scoring model, uh, this is something that you can avoid. Of course, there's a bit of lift, there's a bit of planning, there's a bit of, I would say this is much more technically time consuming, technically challenging to implement and maintain. But if you have it, I'm sure you are gonna reap the benefits of it. And to talk a bit more about the core implementation in Marketo itself. So the way, I mean, everyone can build it differently, but the way we see it, especially for the clients that we have implemented, we have divided into three layers: data layer, AI layer, and then lead scoring program, which sits in Marketo. So within the data layer, all of the data stuff happens as the name says, ensure like Marketo tracks all the needed events. So in order to have AI model score on certain engagement, you need to have those engagements logged in Marketo. So you should be tracking all the page visits, all the form fills. Of course, you need to have Munchkin live on your non-Marketo web pages if you have any. You need to ensure that all the fields, are readable by the, of course, by the sync user. They are present in Marketo, and from Marketo only, the data will flow to the AI lead scoring model. And of course, as I said, you can pass the data to the AI model, read the score via self-service flow step or webhook. And then there's of course the AI layer. You can always go for a out of the box like a native Adobe Sensei for predictive basic lead scoring. I think that is available out of the box in Marketo, but you might have to get that added to your instance separately. But then there's an other option where you can build a custom AI model. Of course, this is like a very customized version of the lead scoring. As I said, technically more uh, requires more technical knowledge, technical know-how of building an AI model. The way we did it, we deployed to AWS Lambda, which is like a serverless cloud. You only pay for the request that you make. Other time, whenever you're not making your request, you do not pay for the service. And of course, Marketo connects to the AWS Lambda via webhook, and then the data gets written back to Marketo. And the lead scoring program, of course, this is very similar. Like you have a smart campaign triggered by scoring threshold. So if the score is above 75, this could be anything, or any combination of person and behavior, like person score, behavior score, demographic score. You mark that person as MQL, and then you notify sales. Yeah, of course, there are, as I said, the AI powered lead scoring model is a bit challenging. There are a lot of mistakes over the time that we have learned from our experience. So one of the top gotchas is, a lot of time it happens that the model performs really well on the training data, but it fails in production. This could be issue wherein you are, adding too many features. When I say features, I mean variables. Variables is like different types of engagements, different types of demographic attributes that are being used as inputs to your AI lead scoring model. So you would want to limit those to say like 20 features. You wouldn't want to use like too many features. This can definitely overfit your model. And that's of course a cold start problem where you do not have any historical data. So if you are like building a new market or instance, and at that point in time you are planning to build a AI powered lead scoring model where there is no engagement past activity data, so you might face the cold start problem. So at that point in time you can start with the hybrid model, rule based until enough data that you have, and you can switch to the complete AI lead scoring model. And a couple of best practices you can always I mean it's highly recommended to give a proper weightage to different engagement types. So for example, visiting a pricing page should ideally be given more weight than email open. So this is something that you would have to decide, and this is something that is not static. You would have to like the AI model would constantly change the weights based on how the conversions are happening at that point in time. And of course document the model versioning and audit for bias as well. And with this is like in 4 to 5 slides we covered the AI powered lead scoring model, but when you go ahead and implement it, you will identify there are a lot more things. We just wanted to give you an overview, like a spark an idea. But with AI powered lead scoring model, I always suggest you first crawl, walk and run. You start slow, you build like a solid foundation, and then you scale it up. As I was talking earlier about self-service flow steps in Webhook, and I mentioned that we have a dedicated self-service flow step section. So where we are gonna be discussing like for 2 to 3 slides a bit about self-service flow steps. The idea is to introduce self-service flow steps to everyone because we feel that these are like a gateway to Marketo users to using AI basically in Marketo. So to start off, what self-service flow steps are? So these are nothing but, as the name suggests, custom flow actions that extend Marketo beyond its native capabilities. So within Smart Campaign, as you know, we have different within flow of the Smart Campaign, we have different actions that can be performed and added, like an send email, wait step, thing to Salesforce. But with self-service flow step, you can add your custom flow steps as well, and there are variety of use cases associated to it. Could be if you want to send an SMS, validate emails, generate content with OpenAI, and all of those use cases wherein you want to leverage the third party service in order to extend the third party service capabilities to your market to engage. You can use the self service flow step. And yeah, you can transform your static marketing into intelligent adaptive workflows. As I mentioned, you with the self-service flow steps, you have the capability to add your custom flow steps and add your custom web service to Marketo. So this slide basically, compares the traditional webhooks and self-service flow steps, and basically boils down to why self-service flow steps, are better than Marketo webhook. So the core idea is that, for like, if you want to send like 1,000 emails or say 1,000 SMS to like a batch campaign has like 1,000 people, and you are like sending an SMS by webhook, what webhook will do, it like 1,000 different webhook calls will be made, and there's a time limit associated to it, which is like 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds it will time out. But in case of self service flow step, Marketo will automatically batch different number of jobs, and then it will send to your service. So for example, if there are say like 1,000 SMS that needs to go out, Marketo will intelligently batch those calls. Instead of making like 1,000 requests to your external service, it will batch and select 10 different jobs and just make 10 calls, and within each call there will be like 100 requests in it. So apart from that, uh, webhooks can only be used in um, like campaigns, like trigger campaigns. I think it's mentioned batch should be trigger. Uh, and with the self-service flow step, you can use in trigger, batch, and executable. And yeah, there's always like a timeout problem, 30-second timeout problem with a webhook, which isn't with a self-service flow step. And webhooks, yeah, we would like to put it this way. Self-service flow steps are webhooks evolved for modern marketing automation with AI integration capability. So this is how the entire self-service flow step works. So whenever a self-service flow step is being called, in the backend, a call is being made to the external service, and all of these data that you see, so flow step fields, the program member context. So if you are using program member fields, you can pass those. The program context as well, like program ID, the lead ID, all the lead fields that you select, you would want to pass, you can pass. And all of those data gets to the your third party web service, and all of this happens in a batch manner. And once the third party web service has all of those data, it processes and gets the response and it sends it back to Marketo. So you can have the activity data locked in Marketo, as well as all the fields that you have mapped with the respective fields of the third party web service. All of those fields in Marketo also get written. So we now that we have some background about self-service flow step, we have like a real world challenge, like a problem and solution, and then how we can use self-service flow step in order to, you know, come to a solution from an implementation perspective in Marketo. The problem statement is, I think a lot of you would relate to. So like a manual lead reviews, time consuming, inconsistent, and causes delays in sales handoff. So like a typical marketing to a sales handoff process that you see here. And static scoring models, of course, don't adapt to the changing behaviors or market dynamics, something that we saw earlier as well. So the solution is to like an implement AI driven lead qualification using self-service flow step integrated with OpenAI to automatically not only just evaluate but to score and route qualified leads to sales in real time. So like this is like one liner problem and solution statements that we have. Over the next few slides, we'll see how to implement it in Marketo. So first two steps are very crucial uh, from a strategic point of view. Of course, I mean, you would want to have your custom self-service like flow step installed in Marketo. And if you are building this as like a service, you are building it, you would want to create it. If you are using a third-party web service, you would want to uh, procure it. So you want to deploy the API endpoint using Adobe self-service flow step, of course, document input output parameters for lead evaluation. The second step is also very important from a strategic point of view. You would want to define how does your ideal customer profile looks like. So basically your buyer personas. So document criteria, like what are different demographics, firmographics, and different behaviors you would want to see in your ideal customer profile. Could be like industry, company size, engagement signals, revenue potential, and all of this is important because at end of the day, using self-service flow step, you are going to pass the ICP context to AI for scoring logic. The third step is like these steps are more oriented towards the technical implementation in Marketo. So you integrate the OpenAI LLM. So for this use case, we are using OpenAI LLM, but you can anyway use like any other LLMs or to be Sensei into this as well. So API sends the lead data, ICP data that we just talked about, and the engagement history of a particular lead to OpenAI. And all of this is happening via the self-service flow step, as you see in the snapshot here. And then LLM evaluates the fit and returns the qualification score plus the next step recommendations. So as of now, we are mentioning like qualification score plus next step recommendation. But as you know, LLM is nothing but like large language model. You give the input, give the context, it's gonna give you the response back. So you can, you know, get pretty much anything with regards to lead from the LLM. And of course, the build like smart campaign logic with the AI flow step. So if you want to trigger that flow, this particular self-service flow step on like a new lead creation or any specific activity happens, you can do that. And in the action, you just call the self-service flow step. In this example use case, you're going to receive the score and route to sales if qualified. And if the LLM determines that the engagement history, the firmographics of this record are not in line with the ICP, it's not going to be qualified as of now. It's not going to be routed to sales. Rather, it's going to be added to the nurture pool. And of course, the result and optimize. So there's a like constant feedback loop here as well. So self-service flow step callback writes the lead score, lead stage qualification reason as well, and AI recommendation back to Marketo in the activity log. And the continuous optimization also takes place. So based on the conversion data, all of that data is also being fed, and the evolving buyer criteria, the evolving ICP for your specific organization. Based on the results, you can refine the ICP and the AI prompts as well in order to ensure that the result is still optimized and relevant. So these are like quick results and impact points that we have. Helps with the speed. So auto qualify leads in seconds. So LLM quickly tells you whether this lead is suitable to qualify or not, rather than having your sales team, spend a lot of time determining it or your marketing team determine it. And of course, helps you with the accuracy as well. AI adapts to the patterns and market shifts continuously. So the prompt that you are generating, the data that you are getting back from the LLM, this is something that's very like it's very accurate. It's something that is not stale. So in case you have your manual Marketo criteria, your qualification criteria, you might have to update it constantly in order to stay relevant. But that's not the case with the LLM. They are constantly relevant, and there's like a feedback loop also happening and improved ROI. So sales focuses on high quality leads only and helps also with the faster deal velocity. So here we are also adding like few common AI integration patterns with sales self-service flow step. So lead scoring and qualification is something that we saw. Then another use case is also like content personalization. So LLM generated email copy per segment. So this is something very much in line with the feature that already exists in the new email editor that Ajay talked about. And of course, then there's the sentiment analysis as well. So you like based on the engagement history of a person, based on the interaction with the sales team, you analyze and feedback route to the sales or support. So this touches a bit with the MQL handoff process. And this is another use case that we have towards the end of this slide. And then email validation and enrichment. So you can validate the emails and enrich your audience as well using the self-service flow step. So the one of the use cases that we're talking about, the AI generated personalized email copy. So this is something that we have it, here. So it could trigger when a lead enters the nurture segment. And the action step, you can have the self-service flow step called the open AI API with the lead attributes. Again, lead attributes could be like title, company, industry. You can also include other attributes if they are in your ICP. And response AI returns three, like of course, could be any number of personalized subject line options plus body copy. And based on the ICP and the data that you send to the Open API, like OpenAI API, it gives very personalized subject lines for that specific person. And you update the subject line in the email in the content using API, of course. And then you can schedule the email or run the campaign, of course, again using the API as well. You can do it manually too if you want. And in one slide, we have also added like a single slide, self-service flow step implementation roadmap. So the first step is to define your API service, what service you would want to use. As I said, if it's a custom service, you would want to build it. You also mentioned the authentication type as well, and register the self-service flow step endpoint in Marketo admin. You then document input output fields and the data mapping, and then build the smart campaign workflow with self-service flow action. And then you test the flow step as basically ensure that all the data gets passed to the its third party service properly, and the data gets written back to the respective field properly as well. And then you deploy to the production and of course monitor the activity logs. And then at the end you iterate based on the results and refine the prompts. There are some like do's and don'ts, like quick do's and don'ts that we also added. This aligns with, so for example, if you are integrating the OpenAI API using self-service flow step in Marketo, and like you are passing like prompt and the lead data, you wouldn't want to pass like vague AI prompts. You would want to make sure you give proper context, your ICP pain point by stage as well. Avoid having like avoid having facing into condition where you do not have any error handling. You should ideally be logging failures and retry mechanism like exponential back off, and neglecting the data quality. So this again, we have heard it like a number of times. Garbage in is garbage out. So clean standardized lead fields is something that you would always want to prioritize before implementing any of the AI use cases. Again, ignoring compliance is something you wouldn't want to do. So there are a lot of compliance and privacy policy laws that we need to take care when we are passing data to platforms like OpenAI API as well. So you would want to ensure that your organization is in compliant and you are, you know, legally able to pass on those data. And of course, use encryption keys, audit data flows. So this is the use case that I was talking about, the qualified lead handoff summarization use case. So we have picked like two use cases, specifically the lead scoring that Ajay and I discussed towards like few slides back towards the beginning, and this is the second use case. And we picked these two use cases specifically based on the responses that we have got from you. So within the MQL handoff use case, so here's the scenario. So sales typically receive like a raw list of lead activities with little context. So they receive like 10 leads, and then they have to, go through their activities to identify why this person became MQL. what topic or products is the lead showing intent for. So they spend a lot of time unnecessary digging through the logs. And this ultimately, as you can imagine, delays the first outreach and makes the initial message less targeted. So the idea is for this use case is to use the AI to translate the activity data into like clear, concise summary for sales users. So they just read summary and quickly provide suggestion, and of course also include the suggestion for the next possible like best actions for that particular person for the sales. So here's the workflow or like quick order of operations. So this particular use case, within this you automate the full Marketo activity extraction loop. So a single HTTP request is being made from say Marketo to that particular service using self-service flow step, of course, and then that service takes care of all the details that it needs to generate the like the feedback. So it generates the access token, it gets the you know like in case of market you would want to have the access token first. Then since you would be extracting the activity programmatically, that service also takes care of extracting the activity. So if there are like multiple leads, it can use the bulk activity extract API. If there are like one or two leads, you can use the regular activity rest API. And if it is using the like bulk extract API, it's gonna be getting the paging token as well, and it gets the activity, and then using those activity data, it passes the activity data to, for example, ChatGPT, could be any LLM for that matter, but then it generates the summarization analysis and transform the long logs into clean usable insights, generates like 100-word reasoning why this person became MQL, and what are the next steps for this person, like how sales should talk to them, what are the topics that they are interested in. And then ultimately that AI generated summary is being pushed back to Marketo. So this is the flow that you see here. And this is how it looks in Marketo. I mean, as a matter of fact, for this, you can use like webhook as well as self-service flow step. Again, I would recommend self-service flow step, but the pilot that we created, we used the webhook to call that particular service. But self-service flow step will give you, more I mean, it's better. You do not face any timeout issues, and you are also able to pass on like lead fields in a better way, just not just the like person fields that you see there. And yeah, this is like query the data from Marketo, the access token, paging token, and get activities. All of these three things are happening in the service itself. So as soon as this service gets data from Marketo for a person, could be via webhook or self-service flow step, it's gonna do all of these three things, and then it's gonna pass off this details to the LLM along with a prompt, and then the response that it gets back, it's gonna write that response back to Marketo. So this is like a very like basic example of the prompt for generating summary. So this is all built in the service itself. So the lead activities that you see, instead of this parameter, it's gonna insert all the like recent lead engagement activity, the history before the person became MQL. So based on that, it's gonna like create a very concise, very informative within say like X words. Here we have mentioned like within 100 words, like a summary of that particular lead, why they become MQL. And again, with this, there are like, we also want to discuss few mistakes and pitfalls. So you wouldn't want to pull very old activity data. So uh, again, this is subject to how back you would want to go, but we do not recommend you pull like really old activity data to analyze why this particular lead became MQL, say based on a form fill that they did like a year back. So we recommend like 6-month old logs should like that slow the workflow and adds noise. So you wouldn't want to do that. Allowing unrestricted LLM output. So have a strict word limit. You wouldn't want like LLM give back like no 1-page essay to Marketo. So yeah, that doesn't help. Not filtering for meaningful activities. So passing every small event like a system pings, or could be like an basic email open, could be like the interactions that you do not consider really noteworthy, wouldn't want to pass those. And missing URLs or metadata. So if there are like form fill, web pages, asset links, you would want to include those details specifically as well when you send the activity data to the LLM. And failing to cap activities per run. So extremely long activity histories can trigger long element processing times and exit token limits. So with the LLM as well, you have like your limits, like you have the limits with the API usage in Marketo. So you wouldn't want to pass like really long activity histories. You wouldn't want to say like send like, you know, say pass like 300 activities. You would want to keep a cap on that as well. Yeah, with that, I think we are towards the end. Anything you would want to add here, Ajay?
No, Darshil, this is great. Thank you. There are a few questions, but looks like we are sort of on time. We are just left with 3 minutes. Uh, there is one question that I would like to answer, and Darshil, please feel free to chime in. And that
Yeah,
question is actually from Pratap. And why I want to speak about this question, because duplicates are almost in all organizations. It could be the bad practices followed by the companies. And Pratap has mentioned a use case that in our current setup, we intentionally generate duplicates records whenever a new sales qualified lead is created for a different product line. This
hmm,
is required for ownership and routing, but it has resulted in a very high volume of duplicates, which makes meaningful lead scoring nearly impossible. My
yeah,
question is, do you see opportunities where AI driven lead scoring or data unification could help overcome this challenge, even in environment where intentional duplicate exists by design? So there is one part which I definitely want to answer, that having duplicate is definitely not the best practice. I have
correct,
seen many companies following the similar model and then later realizing their mistakes and coming back to the unified model where they are avoiding duplicates. There are multiple ways through which you could implement. First, on the process wise, is to have uh, uh, to have record types in the CRM. And even the record type may not solve the issue, because record type is always tagged to one specific record. You can actually create a field in for product lines, and based on it could be a multi-select field, and based on that you could update it. And then when you're routing the lead, whether you're using Marketo, just in case if your sales operation is lazy, or you're using Salesforce, or you're using lean data, there are multiple ways through which you could get the data updated. But the most important thing is that you need to first fix the architect, so that no
correct,
new duplicates are getting updated. Then um, yes, there are ways through which through the AI you will be able to fix the duplicates, but those are not out of the box, and you may need some help here. And Darshil can speak more about it. But there are a few paid tools also available, which
absolutely.
can help you to merge the duplicates and preserve the historic data, and those are tried and tested. So you may want to explore Ringlead or any competitor of Ringlead for that sake to have that data. But can we do that with the help of AI? Absolutely, in my opinion. But it is not something which is available out of the box. There is some sort of customization that is needed. Darshil, you may want to add something over here.
Yeah, I think think that's spot on. And I would like to echo this what you said. Purposeful duplicates are like a big no-no in my experience as well. I think when you are thinking about it, you like a lot of users think that they would be able to manage this, but manage purposeful duplicates. And but at the when systems go haywire, they have like a lot of duplicates dangling around between the platforms. They are difficult. They face difficulties in figuring out what person had done what. So yeah, purposeful duplicate is something that should definitely avoid. And I think Ajay, you recommended like your recommendation was spot on again. So Pratap, you should ideally first try to fix the source of T to like duplicate that, and then you would want to fix your existing duplicate records. So as Ajay mentioned, there are like multiple platforms available. That of course there are, I think most of the platforms in like today they use AI to merge duplicates, and you can use those. And once that is done, then you would want to explore. I think we have like plenty of knowledge base on Marketing Nation around this scenario where they have like multiple business line, multiple products, and then there are ways to have all of those accommodated within a single person itself. Could be within, as Ajay mentioned, could be using multi-select fields. Then you can have like different scoring models, and Market also allows you to have like different revenue cycle modeler. So you can use all of those, and might require a bit of thinking, architecting a bit. But yeah, you can definitely go away from the purposeful duplicates. So that's what I would recommend as well. I see a lot of questions, Ajay. Maybe what we can do is we can note all the unanswered questions and we can do a Marketing Nation post and share
Sure.
with the users. Think that would be the best possible way.
Yeah, yeah, completely agree. Looks like many attendees have dropped as well. So,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, a post would be great for
Uh,
everyone.
yeah, I think, yeah, I see a question. Yes, yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining in. And yes, we'll be sharing the slides, we'll be sharing the recording as well. Yeah, thanks, Robin. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate your time. And if you have any suggestions for the next session, please do let us know. And if you would want to be a speaker, please let us know as well.
Yeah,
We'll be more than happy to host as well if you would want to share your knowledge with the community. So yeah, this community is yours. This community is built for you. So yeah,
yeah,
happy to
and we
host you as well.
definitely want to learn from you as well. And
Absolutely.
the most important thing, we really want you all to grow. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you,
Yeah.
Darshil, for your help as
Yeah. Thank you
always.
so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Ajay. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Have
Bye.
a great rest of your week. Bye.